Alright, so we're going to be looking at Widepark today, guys, and I have a big smile on my face because this game in my Covenanter was just insane. I'm literally like on the verge of laughing. This game was hilarious, man. I came up and over, and obviously you could do this in a light tank, you spot a bunch of people, but Widepark is just one of those maps, man, where I feel like if there's not a lot of good players on the enemy team, you could literally just sit here and just shoot everyone on the map. And that's what I did in this game. You just have to find the right angle kind of underneath these little, what do they call them? Like train carts, I guess you would say, right? And you could literally poke up and always, okay, in the settings, guys, can I open settings in the replay? Yeah. In the settings, this is a really neat trick. Don't skip this part of the video. I'm going to show you this. In graphics, go to details, go down here, and see where it says grass and sniper mode? Like, just copy my settings here. Turn off grass and sniper mode, turn this crap off and like all the extra effects. Yes, it looks really cool, but it's distracting, and especially grass and sniper mode. If you turn this off, it's so much easier to see right where the edge of the ridgeline is, and so you can get your gun up just enough at the very edge, and you only expose yourself like that much, right? Turn this off, just copy my settings down here below. You can see I run everything else on max pretty much, but I'm not a fan of motion blur, so I have that off. But run it like this. Turn off grass and sniper mode, and I'm telling you, if you have that on and you turn it off, you're going to be way better off, right? It might not necessarily make a difference on this map because, you know, there's not really any grass here, but I'm telling you, do this, guys. It's like, it makes the game so much easier to play when you're ridge poking. So I'm going to poke up here. You can see I have all these shots on the M10. I'm going to smack him in the side plate here, and I'm going to poke up again, and I'm just watching for shots from like C100Y. Like, this is kind of risky, but I'm going to back down immediately. C100Y misses me, or whoever that was. And now I'm poking up again. I'm going to try and hit this guy. And like, this is really dangerous, right? But I'm telling you, see how you could poke on the ridge here and watch. See right here how I could shoot through the train tracks? See where my reticle is? So I would urge you guys to try and experiment with this, because I literally can shoot through the train tracks. It's just the way the game works. Why can you shoot through the train tracks? I don't know. It's just where the edge of the hill is. And this portion of the map, like these train tracks right here, are not, they don't have a hitbox. I'll just say that. So you could shoot through them. So the C100Y should be able to see that as well, but from a distance it's probably a lot harder to determine because he can't actually see my tank. So I'm right here at the very edge, and if you're a good player, like, you can use these little tricks and tips to your advantage. So try this out, guys, because most people would poke up even beyond this, right, this train track, and get shots over it, but you're going to expose yourself further and leave yourself open, much more open to getting hit by, for instance, a Su-100Y who can almost one-shot me in this game, right? So I am going to pen this guy. I have to load the APCRs. The Covenanter is a really tricky tank, right? You could only shoot 400 meters away, and the penetration is not great, although it is tier 5, right? But, you know, this tank, like, if you kind of know how to use it, you're going to have a great time. Now, while this game is kind of going on, I just sit here and poke for like a really long time and just keep shooting people. I'm going to kind of give you guys an overview of Widepark. Let's see if I could do this, because Widepark is pretty easy to understand, right? Widepark is a pretty easy map to understand. I'll pause it now. Nice, look at that RD tracer. So basically on Widepark, you have, I would argue, two important parts of the map. You have the hill over here on this side, and then you have this bridge right here, right? So we'll just call this Zone 1 and Zone 2 for this video. Zone 2 is really vital in owning if you're spawning from this spawn where we spawn, because you'll have a lot of good shots. But from the enemy spawn, it's also vital to poke this area right where the ELC was poking. He was doing a good job, and spot this area so that you could, all your people sitting in the back here can, you know, eliminate people from the hill, right? From the south spawn. Is this south? Let's see. Yeah, so we're north, south, west, east right now. So on this southeastern portion of the map, people even from all the way out here will have shots, because the way this map works is it's so small that whenever someone is spotted, like even if you're sitting over here, you could see someone on the map like all the way over here, if you know what I mean, right? You don't have the angle, but what I'm saying is the map is that small where literally you will see everyone on the map, and no one is out of render range basically on this map. You know, it's just kind of the way it works, right? It's only it's 600 meters, so actually, from corner to corner, yeah, you might not be able to spot someone, but pretty much just in your mind, guys, I want you to understand that anytime you're spotted on this map, pretty much everyone on the map can see you, right? So just keep that in mind. I don't mean that they can see your tank, but they can see you on the map and they can see your vehicle marker, right? So just whenever you're spotted on this map, understand that and keep that in mind in the back of your head. Just always know, like, the whole map is only 600 meters, so you're never going to be out of render range. So that's why I say that the hill is very important over here. And then at zone 1, we'll just call this zone 1, you have this big fight underneath this bridge, right, where the railroad tracks go across. And this is a pretty important spot to take, because what ends up happening is if you win or lose it, then the enemy team has like basically this spot, and you know, they'll have this spot as well. I would even say it's more vital to win this from the north spawn, because it's almost like it's further out this way, right? So if you're able to win it from the north, you have a lot more area that you own and win, as opposed to like this little spot right here, right? But it's just the way the map works, and the ridgeline kind of comes back like this, like, if that makes sense. So you actually have more map to work with on the south spawn than you do from the north spawn in zone 1. Okay, so keep that in mind and go to the spot on the map according to what your tank can do, right? If you're in a heavy tank, I would suggest that you try for, you know, zone 1. If you have good gun depression, you can also run this ridge line. And the ridge line is, I mean, we can even call it zone 3 if you want, but this ridge line is vital, because what happens on the ridge line is you'll get someone that'll poke up like over here, and they'll have shots going like this. You'll have someone that'll poke up like right here, and they'll have shots going like this way, or maybe this way, right? And then you'll have someone poke up right here, and they'll have shots going this way. So even though this is a kind of simple map to understand, you always have to be watching the ridgeline. And in fact, I get hit right here. I'm right here right now. I get hit by a guy that pokes up like right here, and he has the angle to shoot me like that. So everyone pokes on this ridgeline, and it's basically just a crossfire, like everywhere, right? So if you're a player that understands how this map works, this isn't going to mean anything to you. You already know this, but I'm telling you, like, it's literally like this, like all game. It's just people like doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this. Like, you just have to be aware of this ridge line. So that's the ridge line. So I've shown you this hill. I've shown you this area of the map. We'll call it zones 1 and 2, and the ridge line, right, from the south spawn. Now, if we're going to go over to, let's say why is this moving so slow? My goodness. I think my free replay camera glitched up. But hopefully you guys can see kind of where everything is working, right, on this map. So that's what I would encourage you guys to try. I don't even know what happened to this either. Somehow this got hidden. But whatever, guys. We'll just ignore it for this particular game, because I stomped this team, right? You don't really need to see this. I don't know what the button is for this. Yeah, I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll get it back later. But in any case, I hope this helps you out on Widepark, because again, Widepark is just, it's a low tier map, right? It's that map that you can only get onto if you're in a tier 6 or below, and there's a reason for that, because the map is only 600 meters in length. And look at this Tog, man. Like, this is just hilarious. I'm shooting this guy with APCRs, keep in mind. I could shoot him with the standards, but at this point, like, I'm just absolutely demolishing this team. 13 spots, 1,118 damage, 615 assists, and these games can be really, really fun, but again, just take advantage of the situation, right? Like, look at the part of the map that I have, and look where they're all sitting, man. Like, I have shots at literally all of these guys. So eventually, you know, we're gonna advance from here. I'm just gonna go on fast forward. There's nothing else important for you guys to see on this particular map. So I think I've described it well enough for you. Again, this zone back here is equivalent to the hill that we have over here, but it just doesn't work the same. It's not as much of an advantage because you're not up on the terrain as high, right? We have a big terrain advantage over here, elevation advantage, I'll call it, and they just have buildings, right? So that's why I feel like you're almost, depends on how you play it as a light tank, but I feel like the south spawn kind of has the winning spawn because you have more area in the west, you have a better area in the east, being the hill, right? And then on top of that, if you're a good light tank player, right, you can easily like outspot people in this area. But if you're a good light tank player, like the AMX ELC was doing the right thing, you can easily come right here because you actually have more room on the east, technically on this map from the north spawn, just because of the way the ridgeline works, right? That you can easily spot this hill, so you can outspot people on the hill. So if you're a good light tank player, that's why I say before everything, it kind of depends on the light tanks, because if you're able to have good view range and you can counter everyone on this hill, then from the north spawn you might actually have a good time, right? So let's just fast forward the rest of the way through this video. I have all these guys pinned down, the Gorilla, the OI, the M4, the Sioux, like everyone's just trying to defend themselves here. The Artie is pummeling the OI, and I was very lucky to not get targeted by Artie in this game also. Keep that in mind. Like there are times where I've been on Widepark and have gotten one-shotted by Artie in lower tier lights, right guys? One-shotted. Like just yesterday in my 12T, no I'm sorry, the 1375, I was one-shotted by Artie. Actually, I took one hit, but he hit me for like 600 something, and I died. I think that was on mines. So just always be watching out for Artie, guys. Like I despise artillery. I don't despise artillery players, just Artie itself. I feel like it's still kind of unbalanced, the fact that you could shoot from across the map without getting spotted, and pretty much, you know, get one-shotted if you don't have a lot of armor. So, however, I do believe Artie is an important part of the game because you'll get these people that will go hold down, and you really want to be able to counter people that go hold down. You know, it's just really annoying when you get these tanks that have like 350 millimeters of effective armor on the turret. You can't really do anything with it. So I do feel Artie has a decent role. They have an important role in the game. It's so annoying when you're a light tank, man. It's so annoying. But anyway, we're going to continue poking here. I'm going to get one more clip into the M4, and now we're just kind of waiting for this game to be over, and that's it, guys. We did 1,934 damage, 1,755 assists, 13 spots. Would you believe that? And again, I hope this helps you out on Widepark, guys. Again, my camera got a little messed up here for whatever reason, but again, you have, you know, this area of the map, you have this area of the map, and the hill again is really a really important part of this map. You are more open to fire here than you think you are, so just be very cautious of that if you're going to try and push down this line. And again, always keep an eye on the ridgeline. I cannot emphasize this enough, guys. Keep an eye on the ridgeline because there's so much crossfire that happens. People poke up over here, 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 like even all the way in this corner, and they're always looking for shots going, you know, across. So keep that in mind on Widepark. Always be looking at the map, always be looking at the ridgeline, and just go where you think you need to go. Tank destroyers can hang out around this hill or this area. If you're a heavy, go to this bridge area. And I think you guys will have a good time on this map. It's a lower tier map. It's pretty fun to play. Usually the games are pretty short. And, you know, every time I get on this map with a light tank, I don't mind it. I really don't. It's not the greatest map for lights, but what's cool about it is if you get to the ridgeline first, you can get like, you know, basically spot the entire enemy team. You can get like 15 spots. We got 13 in this game, 13 spots just from running the ridgeline, right? So that's all with Widepark, guys. You know, I hope it's informative, but Widepark is just one of those lower tier maps that's fairly easy to understand. This was a mastery. You know, we got these two badges here. One is for detecting 9 enemy vehicles, and the other one is like a certain amount of assist, like getting assists for at least 6 enemy vehicles, I believe. And then, yeah, 2,000 damage. We basically did 4,000 combined on this map, and you can see the way I'm running this. I run Vent Purge with the this is improved ventilation, right? It's the one that has 8.5. I don't think that's Bounty, it's the other one. And then I run Vent Purge because I want all this to get 445 meters of view range on my Covenanter, so I don't have to run Binox. And then I run the Optics and the Turbo. And I'm pretty stacked. Like, I love the Covenanter, I won't lie. Like, you can call this seal clubbing, but whatever, man. I do run situational awareness, recon, and concealment, like full concealment on this snapshot and smooth ride and all that. And this tank is just fun, man. I have a 67% win rate in it, and I just love it, man. It's really, really good, but it has a really big learning curve. You really need to understand kind of how to play it, because you can only shoot up to 400 meters away, and it's kind of slow and stuff and sluggish, so you just have to know how to handle it. But that's all, guys. You know, again, 2k damage, 1295 experience. We got 13 spots out of this. Like, it was pretty crazy, man. This was a WTR of like 6,700 or something like that. We fired 54 shots, guys. 46 hit, 34 of them penned, and that's all. If you enjoy this type of content, guys, do sub. I know that Widepark is not the most like requested map or anything like that, but I figured since I had such a good game, I might as well bring you guys, you know, a map strategy video along with me bragging about this absolutely insane game. And that's all. So like, comment, guys, that helps the video get recommended more, and I'll see you for the next one. Take care, and bye-bye now.